Okay, that should be good. Did not have to look at a full paper draft, just had to take care of a quick question. Am I playing at work? I mean, like, look, here's the thing about being a PhD student, right? You're always at work, but you're never. You do things as they come through your email inbox, but, like, nobody's really too fussed about when that actually happens. So from green path into blue path, these are going to play roughly similarly. The only difference is that we really need to prioritize every terraforming parameter for blue path, and we don't need to worry as much about spreading life. I don't think I've ever actually taken expansive, but I don't think this is the right time to try it either, because it's just not what you prioritize for blue path. So I'm just going to go with balanced. All reliable. Right off the bat, I'm seeing titanium, which is fine, because we use titanium for a lot of terraforming space projects. We use it for a lot of terraforming buildings. The water is kind of whatever. It's like, quite whatever. But this, unfortunately, is not going to be much of a choice. Like, bacteria spreaders, despite the fact that we're not really going for prestige, are just really good at getting your initial terraforming parameters set up, and then being able to import a couple life forms is really good. So, like, Misha's getting on board. One of these days, I promise you, one of these days we will actually have a reason to take Beatrix Barbier, but it is not happening this time. So for initial layout, I think what makes the most sense is to go residence, 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 support building. Power, 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 because we're going to need a lot of power for this game. We could do like a minor science, and then, you know, filler building here, and then we can have terraforming building, specifically oxygen building, because it doesn't take penalties for people living next to it. Since we start with a greenhouse farm, we can go greenhouse, soil factory or something like that up there. That should be mostly fine. And let's get started on titanium, just so that we can build other mines initially. Yeah, okay, we're good. This is interesting. We have a water deposit, which makes the second greenhouse farm look really appealing. We don't really have silicates or nitrates. In fact, we have 0 silicates. So, like, a laboratory is the cheapest building here, but we actually can't build it straight away because we don't have enough stuff. We also don't have any tritium, so as much as we want a thermal generator, we're not going to be able to build one in, like, the next 3 turns. On the other hand, we have water deposit, hint of water, hint of water. We could probably get a greenhouse farm up in, like, the next 3 turns. And that's just going to produce 1 extra resource for us. So we do that, for sure. And then, despite the fact that we prioritized exploring the titanium first, I'm actually going to jump on this water deposit and set up the mine immediately. For the rest of the water deposits we find, we'll probably want to extract them. But for this one, I think it makes sense to mine it. And then, since we're already expanding on food so heavily here, like, why wouldn't you just take another hab module? 30 food's a lot of food. But population is an expansion, and neither of these buildings are really going to come out that fast. So we go like this, and then because we don't have space for a 3rd greenhouse farm, now we start taking like a speculative tritium thermal generator. So we're just going to keep grabbing water. Next turn we unlock trade routes, but we could also just explore that tile to get it. We'll see. Here's our trade route. Robots seem really valuable right now. To just go like there. Get this titanium mine up. Import a little bit of titanium. Trade away power to do it. Get a little bit of exploration in. Next turn we can build our greenhouse farm, which might actually turn water into one of our dump resources. No, might actually turn food into one of our dump resources. These are just some really bad choices early on. I guess we'll take the resonance station, but I'm not really that happy about it. So you go here, you go here. We import life. We take Cyanophyta. We need to get to 17 science. We're currently at 2. It's like less than ideal. But we haven't found any silicates for a research lab yet. So I guess we'll need to go like down here and then trade silicates a couple times. As well as take a science center when it shows up. You're like technically a science center. So we'll grab you, because we can't really afford to be choosy right now. Volcano. Don't need water right now. Don't need nitrate right now. Could use titanium right now. If we do this, then we can just build this mine. And now we've finally found a small hint of silicates. So we have a string to pull on now. Can't really, it competes so heavily though. How early could we get a soil factory up reasonably? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8. Actually, maybe pretty quickly. Take this, explore here. 5 silicates? We don't need you anymore. Import silicates. We're maybe 2 turns away if we get lucky on that explorer. Here's the lab we wanted. I actually think we would just build the lab now instead. Because it produces science immediately. Like, we'll still grab those silicates, but... And now do we shift gears for the soil factory? I'm inclined to say no, because the soil factory doesn't actually do anything for our overall goals here. What does things for our overall goals here is science. So I think we need to start importing science. Please, give me something useful that helps. Advanced city planning might be the most useful thing that helps here. I hate that it competes with our current limited science production, but I kinda gotta take it. Waste incinerator doesn't do anything for us. I'll take a HAB module. I'll build you. Really doesn't matter where we put this. This is not a good start, I would say. We'll grab science, though. I want to just import life forms with you. No, get the bacteria spreader first. That's not going to do anything for you. That will, though, and then you can throw this out. Just build this instead for your support building. Before you leave, let's modify the reproduction speed on Cyanophyta. Saves us 2 turns. And then whoever comes in after you is going to use their explore action to just grab even more science. So that we don't fall even further behind the curve here. Because it's getting pretty bad. So I'd like to use Alex for breaching aquifers. But Jung could really rush through some field research, and Eureka's pretty sick. Produce 5 science. So we're at 15 now. We hire him, and we use his ability. We can build a bacteria spreader this turn. Hey, when you frame it like that, it actually sounds really good. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we Cyanophyta. We can also get a trade route up. We can also get a support building down. And like now, all of a sudden, within the span of 2 turns, I feel a lot better about everything that's happening in this game. We have positive support income. We have life forms being spread by turn 10. I guess those are the only 2 things that I really feel good about right now. The rest of it is still kind of ass. But, like, it's two things that are good now that weren't good a turn ago. So I'm not going to cry too much about it. The biggest problems we need to solve right now, we have 0 power production. That's bad. We really, really need to find tritium. Like, really bad. So we've got 1 down here, but that's not going to be 9. We don't need to trade for science anymore. We actually have to trade for tritium. And I would throw away probably titanium to do it. Do I want to take another robot hub? No, I have nowhere to expand to that actually matters right now. I'm a long ways from being able to afford a hospital. So I think I would just take a tritium thermo generator here. I don't need to worry about using Eureka, and then I would explore this tritium spot. So now we're at 5. In 2 turns we'll be at 9. We can build our first tritium thermo generator. Never mind, we can just do it now. And you're gonna go here. A rover museum is 1 science per turn. You could come, like, up here. And then we're basically... Oh my god, there's so much tritium down here. Holy cow. We should build a city here. Nitrates deposit, tritium deposit. Maybe like a couple of support buildings. That seems like a nice city spot. Four titanium. 11 water. So we don't need water. It should probably be power. So power is the only thing we're really struggling to produce right now. And then we definitely take an oxygen factory. Like, we're kind of built to use this thing. University's not going to get any use at all, and a landing pad would be nice to pick up. Maybe this is worth Eurekaing. Let me think about it. Because we would want both of these buildings. We don't currently have a place to put a rocket pad in, but that's fine. Like, you know you're going to put it down when you have space for it. Yeah, I'll Eureka. I'll Eureka, and then I'll just throw you in the trash. And then we're not doing anything else with our science right now, so it's a fine time to use advanced city planning. Just get it out of our hand. Work our way up to plant spreaders. Grab the last tritium thermo generator that we need. And now, stop doing that. Why don't you trade away just like a little bit of science for now? I really want to make inroads down to making a city down here. So explore you. I'd also really like to restart that volcano. But man, just like 2 tritium per turn is glacial progress. I am interested in none of these buildings. Turn it into science. And it takes 25. I need to see, like, if I saw a tritium meteorite in the next turn or 2 as an event, I would be so happy. Just unbelievably happy. This is going to be a killer city spot, though. I might just do it even before I restart the volcano and then, you know, deal with the aftermath of the volcano as it happens. Gotta take the terraforming building here, I think. Which means we should probably stop dumping titanium and start dumping... Just dump your science. Give up on restarting the volcano. Pour all of your resources into power generation. And then later you can set it off if you want. minus 18. None of these buildings matter, like, in the slightest. So we throw those out. We continue just exploring random tiles that are nearby while we wait for food to tick to 30. And if we wanted to, we could just get to 30 like that. I'll take robots. Robots might be how we end up expanding down here. And then we'll go ahead and found. What's the layout here? It's going to be house, 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 support building, buffer. So that would be a good spot for like a robot hub to go. Next turn, we can make it so that we have the power to do that, and then start importing tritium again. That's a huge find on that power in that box. So now we can just do robot hub now. And this is exactly the kick in the pants that our economy needed. So switch this over so that we can get 4 titanium next turn so we can build that mine. Work on this rich soil, which I guess should probably be a nitrates mine because we need nitrates to build plant spreaders. That's probably what that should end up being. And then just explore here since it's cheap and it has silicates. This is an excellent silicate spot. We could start working towards a resonance station here since we kind of have a little area of power production going on here now. But titanium and power are still 2 massive issues. We need to dramatically improve our production on those. This is not going to help, but it's such a powerful project. Oh, these are actually all really good. I'm gonna innovate this. I'm gonna Eureka this. I am going to throw you out. This is never happening. I am going to stop dumping science though. Temporarily, I'm going to dump all water, and I'm going to dump all food. No, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to build a mine. I'm going to allocate 1 trade route to importing methane. I'm going to dump 1 water. I'm going to import 1 science. I really want to get this development center up because it's going to increase our science production. More than anything else, I'll just be able to throw out 2 projects a turn instead of 1. We're slowly starting to build something here. 3 power per turn for a bunch of things that I can't really afford. I'll take it, but I might just end up throwing it out. I would also really like to see another robot hub to build a new Athens so I can go here and get another spaceport hub. But I think that's a little ways off from happening still. Or I could just, like, build the house. The house will actually be coming up here pretty soon. 14, 16, 17. In 2 turns, we can build a development center. Or, if this turn's leaders aren't very good, and it's kind of looking like they're not. Well, hang on. How good could a linked nitrogen factory be? Link. It could actually kind of be okay. But we don't have to rush it. Let's do this. No. Do your field research so we can just build that this turn. So that we can stop importing you, so that we can start importing you. Come down here. Put your development center down. We absolutely need that. We also really want that. We need to prioritize doing importing tritium. So you go like that. In 9 turns, that'll be done. Maybe less. In fact, almost certainly less. And then you can retire. We'll get Jan in. And next turn, we'll have him start working on linked nitrogen factories. In the meantime, What is the most important resource we need right now? It's food, but I can't, like, find food. So what's the second most important resource I need? I think silicates to get the resonance station up. Well, no, it's tritium, but I can't see any tritium, so like it's silicates. Go here, spread a life form. Let's keep it balanced. We'll do a little bit of heat, we'll do a little bit of oxygen, we'll do a little bit of atmosphere. I would absolutely... Oh, I'd love to take 10 tritium. Well, wait, hang on. Because if I take silicates, I could build the resonance station this turn. Also, you just have to take that. It's on site. I really want to see more projects every turn. And we already have one of these, so I don't need to take another, and I don't really want science, so I'm turning you into a science. Now. I think... So, we could take plus 10 tritium. What does that do for us? It lets us build one more tritium thermal generator. It gives us plus 1 power. On the other hand, if we take 10 silicates, we can build a resonance station, which gives us plus 2 power. So that's just going to be the better choice. That's just how the math works. And then next turn, we have a robot hub. We can expand here and here. We can build our linked nitrogen factories. It is very cold. A power breathing center will give us just like a little bit of support, and we can always replace it later. And then here, you're saving up for a nitrates mine, I believe? Yeah, so we're just waiting on power for that. Power is still an issue, but it's slowly getting fixed. Slowly but surely we are generating more power. Now, we build a house here. That gives us 1 expansion. We build a nitrogen factory. Currently, it does nothing. It has to be linked to other things. But next turn, we explore here, we explore here, we build a robot hub. Probably in that spot. Then we build linked nitrogen factory here and here. This linked nitrogen factory produces 2 atmosphere, 3, 4 atmosphere production per turn. So atmosphere production will be in a really good spot. I'd also like one more expansion, get a landing pad down, maybe like, you know, here or something, but I don't have that expansion yet. And I'm also looking at like the plant spreader and animal spreader. I gotta get those going soon too, but that takes power. Power is still our bottleneck. In a pretty major way. I would take robots, I would take another bacteria spreader. I would put down another power, we're up to 6 per turn, and then I would put down a robot hub, so that I can expand here, and so that I can expand here. I do not care that those are spots where I could found cities. I'm just putting them in. What is our next turn? Nothing. We're just waiting for tritium from Mercury. It's a total waiting game right now. Gain 2 titanium when conducting a city building for 40 science. Every unit of tritium you export. This is really good for the terraforming goal. This is also really good for the terraforming goal. These are not good for the terraforming goal. The 40 is really expensive on house printing. We would basically throw that out. 15 and 10 is a much easier pill to swallow. So I think we go Technologies C. I think we probably want to take a giant heater, and we also really want a spaceport. We're going to have to make some hard choices about what gets thrown out this turn. Okay, we can just get rid of that. So that's 1 card column that we don't have to worry about. And since we took a spaceport, but this is expensive. It's going to be a long time before we can actually make that. This is also... I don't see a universe where we have 27 power and we don't know what to spend it on, so even though I just picked you, I think you're gone. I don't think you do enough. There's our other linked nitrogen factory up. Good. Hey, we could get super weird with it, and we could, like, build another robot hub in here somewhere, and explore to, like, here and here, and put 2 more linked nitrogen factories in, and just start going hog crazy on them to get the atmosphere parameter done and dusted. Something to think about, for sure. We are not interested in any of those buildings. We're actually really interested in making this research center happen. So I think we're going to prioritize that for a little bit. Could also build an oxygen factory now. It's kind of interesting to think about. I would do it. We're not saving up our water for anything else. We're so far away from animal spreaders being able to do anything. Okay, people getting mad. But I would take a bus station. And I'd like to do lifeform delivery, but it's not that important. Next turn I can make a bus station. That is going to go here. Probably specifically right there. Actually, if I have any hint of tritium on this entire map, I could build it this turn. But I don't, because tritium apparently does not exist on this version of Mars. So instead, we'll just grab titanium. And then I'll grab like a little bit of science. Maybe we can get the dev center this turn? Or the research center? We can. Alright, so now we do that, and we get rid of you. Next turn we do the bus station. That's really important. So I think it's time for you to go. I told you it was going to happen. You made it a lot longer than I thought you would, but it's time for you to go. And then I think I would also take a house. Put a house in here, they'll be pretty happy about it. They're living underground. It's just a good support buffer. We put a bus station in, so you can go here. And then is this how linked nitrogen factories work? It is how linked nitrogen factories work. Okay. No, it's not. They're not working at all. It's only neighboring. You would need to go here. I don't want to destroy my tritium mine so that you can do stuff. You're useless to me. I could put you on the volcano. I don't think anyone's really going to be happy about that. No, you don't actually do anything. You should be a landing pad instead, so I get more on our trade rate. Mediterranean shrubs, a temperate forest. They both increase terraforming parameters. This one is more rainfall, this one's more temperature. I don't think it's really going to matter, unfortunately. I don't have space room. It'd be nice to have a lab, but I don't have silicate, so we're just going to turn you into science, because I want to get this out. Ideally, before I build any of these. You can go ahead and just explore and study. It's a large aquifer. I wouldn't mind expanding to it and then breaching it. But I think instead, let's work on our support income, because people are starting to get unhappy. Next should be water, because we're about to get 2 free tritium per turn. And it's just the cheaper project overall to work. Water asteroid? No, not super interested. Water space project? Interested. So enable you, select you. I wouldn't mind putting windmills down. Like, eventually we're going to bulldoze all of these. No, they should be life-spreading buildings when we do bulldoze them. So let's not do that. We'll just continue exploring and studying. Jan doesn't really do anything else. Dump all of our trade routes into that project, and probably start saving up for a spaceport. 13 tritium is a long ways away, but I think we can do it. Turn you into science. I'd also like to get this bacteria spreader down. Alright, Jan is retiring. Show me someone who does, like, anything that has to do with terraforming, please. Pretty please. Hope. I don't think it's going to be you this game. Varied development does not really do a ton for us, because we're not going to be going that wide. We could get a lot of support from spending water, but we need them for animal spreaders. And I don't really care about rally speed. So I think we're just kind of taking Aisha by default. Like, rock recycling is fine. Convert resources is pretty good. Sewage treatment is, like, pretty good. Neither of those are super impressive. Just take another spreader. Now, the plan. What is the plan currently? The plan is you have a lot of spreader buildings that you're saving up for, and your economy sucks. So the two things that I would try and work on are making your economy better, and doing that by, like, expanding to another city. Here's looking like a pretty interesting candidate. You get a large aquifer that you're probably just going to bore. You get a meteorite. You get a titanium, and then ideally all three of these locations are spreader locations. Three science per turn, spaceport, or delivery drones. Does anyone not have a support building right now? Oxygen factory I can just build. The rest of these, I don't care. You have, like, a bad support building. That's good enough for me, honestly. Get rid of it. I like the expansion tile ability. And then could we also put an oxygen factory in here somewhere? Probably. Maybe, like, right there. And then we enable you, get some water going, and then, let's see. We would like to get to 10 titanium to build the homestead, but I'd also like to get to 13 tritium to build the spaceport. So these kind of, like, compete with one another in a weird way. I could do something like this, but it just kind of, it splits the difference between both of them and means we don't really make forward progress on anything. I think the best thing to do is actually going to be not work towards a space project, but instead hard focus on getting the spaceport up. And then once the spaceport is up, we have more trade routes, so we can blow through these faster. And in the intervening, God, they're so expensive. I think the math is still fine here. We'll just exploration satellite these other two. Okay, +1 atmosphere, great news. Bus station, pretty great news. Animal spreader, also great news. Holy cow, everything has been damaged. That's pretty cheap, that's really cheap. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. Oof. Oh god, and this got damaged? Jesus. Alright, well, the support income's going to be pretty mad for a while those buildings self-repair. Because I can't really afford to do anything with them. You also don't have a bus station. You don't even know, like, where you want to expand. Hang on. It should be down here. Keep working this city spot. So now, at least if we want to, we can start a city there. And it does look like a pretty good spot for a city. Now let me come back up here and think about a bus station. What would it replace? I think it might replace a laboratory. We'll go from +2 science to +1 science. I think that's okay, though. Next turn, we'd have the power to do it. It does use up our tritium, though. We should get the spaceport down first. So spaceport, then bus station. Then we can start working on importing methane from Titan. While we save up titanium for homesteads to put here, and then we can do import water from Saturn. In the meantime, Is there anywhere that a plant could spread? 1 temperature and 2 rainfall. Absolutely not. Marineris is pretty good on rainfall. Tharsis is pretty good on rainfall, but they're not quite there yet. We gotta keep working ocean level. So we do not need to build these yet. There's our oxygen parameter increase. Good news. I would just take a stopgap trade route. This is going to get bulldozed mere turns from now, but it does just give us one more knob that we can turn. You're going to be at 13 all by yourself. We can trade 2 of these away. So we're +3, we're trading away 2. You'll be at 13 next turn. Power will be at 9 next turn. The homesteads are not that important. So I think we can do 1 like that. And then we'll trade away 1 science for 1 power just for this turn. In the meantime... Actually, you know what? We won't. Get rid of this. Your time is up. I hope you enjoyed your time as a rocket silo, but it's over. Methanogenium. Methanogenium. Oxygen's in a good place, atmosphere's in a good place. Let's start shifting away from cyanophyta, because that's what they're doing, and start shifting into methanogenium to get the temperature up at a corresponding rate. We have no silicates. That building's never getting repaired. It's just going to have to auto-repair by itself. Leader can still do something. You can afford a short exploration here. I do think I want even more tritium thermogenerators. I already have 2 plant spreaders. I don't want to take a 3rd. I don't need another development center. I'll just turn the other one into science. Now, where is this spaceport going? Spaceports make people happy when they live next to them. So here is a good candidate. Here is a good candidate. They also give you a free trade route if they are next to a mine. So this is an alright candidate, but it means we would never be positive water production because the 1 free trade route would just be the water. Here, we're getting 2 trit for free, so this would be 1 free tritium trade route that we could just spend on anything else. So I think it does have to go here. It is going to tank our atmosphere production. It is going to tank your atmosphere production, actually. Does that change your plan at all? Yeah, I think it might. I think I might want to go here instead. And then what's your plan after this? You have 2 new trade routes. Put all 3 of them towards importing from Mercury, and then just leave this one here. And what else do you want to work on in the meantime? Bring in a titanium and get rid of a science. You don't have anything you can do for me, unfortunately. There's nowhere you can explore because we're out of power. So just give me 15 support. Double resource production this turn. Our resource production is... What? No, because if we double resource production, that lets us accelerate our space projects a little bit more. And then we could also just build like a combined living center instead of the homestead. So the homestead can go. You can be a combined living center instead. That gives us 2 expansions, so we can grab the volcano. And then we can also just like grab that tile because we can reach it. Next step. Bus station, probably. Bus station lets us go here and here. For that, we're going to need tritium. Bring you in. Just export a science. We're okay on power. You could explore if you wanted. grab some silicates. Maybe you can repair this? No, you're still at 8. It's not going to happen. Do we need anything else here? I don't think we need a third bacteria spreader. When we restart this volcano, it would be nice to dump a heliostat power plant on it, but that's so far in the future that I'm not really planning for it now. A tuber farm is just like, whatever. We don't currently have an oxygen factory, so grab me an oxygen factory. We'll just build that when we get to 17 water. Tundra forest or plankton? Plankton generates a lot of terraforming parameters, so I think you go with plankton. And then you definitely take a water project, and that's it. Now, do I have anywhere that tritium exists? Because I'd really love to plunk a bus station down this turn. I do not. It's unfortunate. We're just going to have to keep waiting, I guess. But this project is halfway done. I could just repair you now. I'm not doing anything else with my science. That's going to fix my support income a little bit. I cannot repair you, though. An animal spreader? I would. 26 water is so much water, though. Also, I have 3 of these now? Jesus. Our economy still sucks. I think that's still the biggest challenge that we're facing right now. But we just haven't really found a lot of stuff that we can produce. I should really focus on getting this city up, because it's a large aquifer and a large nitrates deposit. We almost might even want to save the bus station for that. 21, 25, 29. In 2 turns we can found that city if we make that swap. And I do think that's kind of important. I'm at hand size? I don't want any of you in that case. How big is this water deposit? It's gigantic. Okay. This is going to be a really important city. And I probably should have rushed it a little earlier. But let's at least try and get it up now and see what we can salvage. In the meantime, just give me like a cheap explorer. Support income's increasing. A water project. Really wish you would have finished last turn, but there's only so much we could do. It really sucks to throw that out, but I kind of have to. I haven't given myself another option. Get rid of that. Found you. And then we want to bus station immediately, which we can do by exploring that square. And then we want to go here, and we want to go here. And I'm tempted to extract water for oceans, but we have Massive Ocean Project and Massive Ocean Project, and we have 3 animal spreaders in hand, so I'm actually going to wait until I can put a pit mine there, instead of just boring the aquifer. So now that that bus station's down, and now that this city's down, we go back to importing titanium, because we really want to get these 2 mines constructed. Those are now very important elements of this game. We are going to shift you off completely. We're going to dump more tritium into the other water project. No, but we are going to keep importing that titanium. Heat parameters increased. Great news. Craig could be really useful here with all the genetic modification that he can do. Food production, who cares? But cold resistance and lower oxygen requirements would let us rush some life forms out earlier. A gene vault is exactly what I was looking for. And you can also research, you can explore and research 2 extra projects. You only have 2 uses of each of these, so we are going to explore with you 6 times. We might as well just start doing it now. Here, Gene Vault. You here. I don't think it's worth moving you. I don't think it's worth moving you. But any new plant spreaders are definitely going down here. We're a ways off from the pit mine. We can at least enable you. We can't support that pace for very long, but we can run it for a little bit just to get it out the door. Next turn I can robot hub, which is going to let me expand here and here so I can build 2 plant spreaders. Just give me a couple terraforming parameters. And then what do we want? I don't need to see more than 5 projects per turn, I don't think. I don't really have the econ to support another CO2 factory. And in fact, I don't see this one getting built either with all the competition for titanium. Do you have any plateaus here? Yeah, but there's a meteorite on one of them, so you're going to use that. We might not use any of these projects. Like, maybe eco homes? You're full. You're full. Hey, you could take an eco home. We're not doing anything else with science, so it's really just like a 20 cost house. And then the rest of it's getting turned into science. You are also getting a robot hub. So that you can go... Well, we'll go here to get the research station on the meteorite, and then we'll go here. And then you get a plant spreader. We can't spread yet. Why? Because of your water parameters. When this finishes, you will be able to. Do something like that. And then with your spare water, why don't you do something like this? Just to keep the terraforming parameters moving. And then I really got to use this for titanium. Or tritium. Okay, we got tritium. Go here. Now I don't need to do this. I would rather rush this. This is also looking like a place we should probably be. Look at all the tritium over there. None of these terraform. I'll grab a spaceport. And you're actually kind of cheap. You're just 8 power, and power is pretty good these days. So house, 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 gap, gas plant. It's just 8 power. We'll get it back. $12, 17, 22. So 3 turns away from that currently. And then we can fire up this plant spreader, which is going to fire up oxygen and atmosphere. It is like really not the time for you right now, Nathan. I would take a bacteria spreader if they're just going to put it in front of me. Take a little extra tritium. Oh, but I need to expand. I need more tiles here. I didn't think about that. Next turn I get eco homes, and then I can put the bacteria spreader down. And we have enough science to do both. Give me methanogenium. Because atmosphere and oxygen need no help at all right now. And then we just can't quite do the plant spreader yet. Seagrass or deer? Seagrass, increased terraforming parameters. I do not care about deer. 50 atmosphere for 14 tritium is a bargain, so we take it. The rest of this, we say, no thank you. And then I want to be a little stingy with my power, just because I've got this spaceport in hand. So I don't really want to blow it on a long expansion. Why don't you come down here for just 2 power? And then why don't you exploration satellite over here for the rest of the tritium that you want. That gives you enough to build your pit mine. So that you can start working towards animal spreaders. You can also do your eco homes now. And then you can expand to here, and you can put your bacteria spreader down. Can spread again? Really? Wow, okay. Sure. And then next turn we turn this in. We can use the plant spreader. We can start working on that again, and we can start working on that again, I guess. Large titanium asteroid. Oh, baby. Exactly what we were looking for. Yes, I will. You don't do any of this anymore, you only do this. That's a free trade route that we can use for a little bit to import one of those to do 2. So that'll be done in 4 turns. This should now be able to spread to not the tile I was expecting. I guess we need to bump heat up one more time. But at least you can go here, so that's going to increase our atmosphere and our oxygen again. We actually only need to get to 2. We are way closer to finishing this than I thought. This is going to be done. This is going to be done. We actually only need to finish this project to win. For some reason, I thought we needed to go to 3 on all of those. We only need to go to 2. We are way closer to finishing than I thought we were. Which is just great news. Throw these out. Support income's getting pretty bad, but that's okay. It's not going to matter very soon. I still need expansion, so give me an eco home. Could also nuke the polar caps, but water's our biggest issue right now. So I don't need to. Like, as interesting as it is, I don't think I need to. We'll just explore random tiles. I'm almost tempted to, like, stop progress on that, but just get the 25 tritium, or titanium, and then throw it all into the project. And you should be fine. Giant dew collector? No, that's not what I'm about right now. I am about landing pads, though. Do I have a spot for a landing pad? You're at 2 oxygen, so you can start to get rid of these things. Right, you can't afford to do that. Let's do that instead, then. Explore location. Find a spot with titanium, and then you actually could do that. Like, shift those around. No, because that's your free trade route. It doesn't matter. You just leave it like that. We can also gene mud. It's not going to matter, though. Like, it really doesn't matter. So I guess just keep exploring. Throw those out. Technologies are also not going to matter. 8 support income per animal you spread's pretty good. Space project's cheaper. Just give me A. And then I'm not doing Phobos. Not doing any of these. Turn it all into science. Gain a support income when constructing a city building? Sure. I honestly can't tell you if that's going to happen for the rest of this game, but sure. Trade route's not assigned? Okay, we can finally pivot over to you. And then you can still perform an action. You can just go explore somewhere. Birds of paradise or whales? I'll take whales. Here's all of our terraforming parameters increasing. Support should not be a problem for a long time after that. Enable you. And now we have all the titanium we need to finish this project. In the meantime, we could start thinking about a tritium thermogenerator layout over here just to get a little bit of extra power. We're still a little sparse on it. Craig is retiring. Flora, you can come in and take credit for what's about to happen, but really the game's over in 2 turns. That's 40 ocean. Yeah, it'll be enough. So, explore. Explore. End turn. People are mad. Take a water project. Explore. Doesn't really matter where. Trade route's not assigned. Just put them somewhere else. End turn. Enable. There we go. That is probably like the worst game that I've managed to win. I'm still not exactly sure how we managed to pull that out, but we did eventually manage to pull it out. It's by far the worst economy that I've had in a game in recent memory, but a win is a win, so we'll take it. And then, how are we looking on email?